Hello there, Mrs. Helbling here. Mrs. Helbling. And I am going to talk about your value unit form shading worksheet in your workbook. So here we have three forms, a sphere, a cube, and a cone. And what you are going to do is you are going to look at these forms and practice shading the outlined form next to it. And the first thing that I like to do when I am thinking about shading a form is to break it down into the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows. So I'm noticing here, and I'm just going to draw on this, that this area here is really the lightest area. So that's a highlight. So I'm going to give that a 1 because that's the lightest area. This is also called a highlight. This section here is more of a midtone. I'm going to give that a 2. This section here is definitely the darkest, and that's going to be where your shadow is. So if I am kind of thinking about how I'm going to copy this over, I'm going to put my highlight here. That's a little bit off. My midtone here, and then my shadow here. So if I'm looking compared to the background, this isn't perfectly white. So I'm just going to come in and lightly shade my highlight for number 1. Then I'm going to use a little more pressure with my pencil and fill in my midtone. For my shadow, I'm going to use even more pressure. I'm going to make my quick lines closer together, filling in that area. And I might even go over my shadow area twice. And now I have a highlighted sphere. I might come back even like with a finger and blend it a little bit. And when I do that, I notice that I'm kind of missing a shaded spot there. I can also use my pencil along the edges to just kind of blend those two areas together to give it just a little bit more of a 3D effect. So I can also do that on my shadow. I'm noticing that this area of my shadow is the darkest, where I have midtones here, and I don't quite get to a highlight on my shadow. So I'm gonna look at the shape I drew over here. I'm gonna come in here with my darker shadow, and then come here with my midtone. There you go. So you're gonna repeat that for your cube and your cone. And I'll just get you started on that, right? So this to me looks like the darkest part. That's that shadow. This one is definitely the highlight. And here we have those midtones. In our shadow here, it looks like this area is kind of my shadow, whereas this area is more of my midtone. And the shadow doesn't really get into a highlight. So that'll get you started on your cube. And then you're going to do the same thing on your cone. Good luck and great job, everybody.